Hi everyone. This post that I'm doing today is a little bit different to my regular posts, but I'm just coming out the comfort zone a little bit by making it more personal. Not something that I normally do on Facebook, but here goes. So, since I opened the studio, New Dimension Studio, 3 years ago, coming up for 3 years ago, I've been doing lots of different developmental courses and sort of investing in my own personal development a little bit more, really. And upon doing that, it's made me discover more and learn more about me. And that's really what I'm sharing with you today is the outcome of that discovery and um, maybe just sharing with you from where I was or where I've come from, really, sort of my background. So, um, when I was at school, when I was at school here in Northampton, I wasn't very, I wasn't very good at school. I didn't find learning easy. I kind of messed around a lot when I was at school, and for me, it was an environment that I liked to be with my friends, and I found that I went there every day and sort of messed around, and I was probably, and if you remember me from school, I probably was really disruptive in lessons and just yeah, a bit of a jerk, really. So I spent a lot of time on report and seeing the headmaster and sort of stuff like that. So it didn't really bother me at the time, and upon looking at my reasons for that, I think it was because I was never really good at anything. I never had a subject or anything that I excelled in, so I kind of had the attitude of, well, I just didn't really try. And I remember, like, probably most of my school reports basically said she could have done better, and she never did. Um, and then when I got to the final year of school, I remember thinking that I didn't really want it to end. I sort of wanted to still go there with my friends and still have a laugh and stuff, and I still wanted that to be part of my life, and I didn't really know what direction that I was to take, and I felt not really ready to grow up and go into the big real world. So I applied to stay on in the sixth form, and the teachers were like, "No, no, 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 we don't want to hear. She's disruptive." And uh, I've basically had to have several interviews and the headmaster and things, and I really had to convince them that I was going to change and that I was going to work hard and that I'd put in some grit and I'd put in some effort. And as it was, I did. I did child development, which was probably, yeah, the worst course I could have picked, really. It wasn't very interesting. I didn't find it interesting, but I felt like I had to stick to my guns with what I'd decided to do, and that was to prove so I thought, it was to prove to the teachers that I could do it and that I'd be true to my word. And I did. I completed the course, even though I hated every aspect of it, and I ended up with, I think, quite a reasonable grade. I think I got a merit for it, which was certainly considerable considering my GCSEs were appalling. And I remember when I went into my GCSE maths exam, when I took that, I didn't even know what trigonometry was, and that was one of the questions that come up. And I remember sitting there thinking, never even heard of this. What is it? And like, I had to retake it 3 times before I was accepted into sixth form. So I've always been, I've always been trying to prove something. And I guess that's how I felt all the way through my education, all the way through my adult life, in a way, with my career. So I went on to college and I did sports therapy, and I managed to get a good grade with that, and I managed to pass and complete all the modules, which was good. It's great. But I felt like I was always trying to prove something from that moment on. Got a job straight away, and it was always a continual learning curve of trying to accept and be better. And it just went on. And thinking back, this was 20 years ago, and I've just been on and on and on and on and on at trying to get more education and learning. And probably only really in this last year, so 2017, have I accepted that I the only thing I was trying to prove was to myself. It wasn't to anybody else. It wasn't to the teachers. It wasn't to family member. It wasn't to my friends. It was actually, I was trying to prove this all along. It was to myself. And at this moment in time, I've finally accepted that I have proved to myself that I can do something and I can be successful at it. And I think it's really from having the clients that I have, and when they give me lovely testimonials, and when you hear that, sometimes it's quite hard to listen and actually think they're talking about me. And upon hearing that, particularly over these last few weeks, it's been quite touching. So my post today really is just to reach out for people who are constantly looking for like self-approval, and maybe look a little bit deeper into a journey that you probably feel that is always need an explanation or a reason, whereas actually it's within yourself. And that's just where I've come to now with recording this, is knowing that everything that I've done, I've never give up on it, even if at times there's been failures and I've wanted to quit. I never have, because it's just not been an option. It's just not been an option to do that. And I think certainly that's my kind of teaching with my clients, is to not give them an option to quit, because there's so many other avenues or roads to take. And that's really the point of this video, is to be more in touch with your own reality. And it's okay at times to have shit days, and it's okay to feel that you're not getting anywhere or progressing, but actually just take a step back and have a look at what you've achieved and how far you've come. And certainly when I look back at those days when I never ever thought that I'd be self-employed and working as I am, especially with not very much of an education, it actually really doesn't matter. It's what you do now, and it's stuff that's happening now that makes all the difference. So that's my Fun Friday message. Be true to you.